Hello dear students of class 10th, welcome to English class. I hope all of you are fit and healthy. Students, in this video, I shall be discussing the MCQs of chapter first from your first flight book, that is, A Letter to God. Students, now why am I discussing the MCQs? See, as you know that your exams are approaching, and in your exams you will be asked MCQs, that means multiple choice questions will be asked in your examination. So what you have to do, you just have to encircle the correct option. As you can see, this is an OMR, so you will be provided an OMR sheet in which the question numbers are mentioned, and for each question there are 4 options given like A, B, C and D. So what you have to do, you have to encircle the correct option for each question. For example, the correct option for question number 1 is C, let us suppose. So you have to encircle, you have to darken that area with your pen. So this way you have to mark your answers in your upcoming examination. I hope how to mark your answers is clear to everybody. Now students, I am going to discuss a few MCQs from chapter number 1, that is A Letter to God, and I really hope that this discussion will be helpful to you in your upcoming exams. So with this note, let us begin with the first question. As you can see on the screen, the first question is provided. So the first question is, the field of corn dotted with flowers means that, and 4 options are also given. So the first option is, not a single flower was bigger than a dot. Option B, the flowers were scattered across. Option C, the flowers were in shape like dots. And option D, the flowers had shrunk in size. Now what is the meaning of the field of corn dotted with flowers? Students, it means that the flowers were scattered everywhere, they were scattered across. So students, the correct option will be option number B. So B is the correct one. Now students, you must be thinking that since you only have to encircle for each question, that means it will be very easy, you don't have to study much. But let me tell you that in MCQs, you have to study everything thoroughly, that means line by line, because question may come from anywhere, from any line. That means very thoroughly you have to study each and every line. Okay? Now let's come to the second question. The second question is, the protagonist of the story is a. The options are postmaster, option B, farmer, option C, businessman, and option D, nobody. Now students, what is the meaning of protagonist? Protagonist means the main character, the lead character of the story. And who was the main character of the story? Lencho. And Lencho was a farmer. So the correct option will be option B. See students, here Lencho is not mentioned. So don't get confused. You need to think properly. Lencho was a farmer, and farmer, this option is already provided. So you will mark the second option, that is option number B. So let's move to the next question. Now students, let's move to question number 3rd. So question number 3rd is, what was seen approaching in the northeast? See, this line is already mentioned in your book. So I have taken out every question, every possible question from your chapter. So the options are tiny mountains of clouds, option B, huge mountain of clouds, option C, nanoscopic clouds, and option D, small mountains of clouds. Now the first option, tiny mountains of clouds. See, mountain cannot be tiny, so this option is already eliminated. We will eliminate this option. Option B, huge mountains of clouds. Yeah, this can be the answer. Now let's see the next option also. The next option is nanoscopic clouds. Nanoscopic means very small. So very small mountains of clouds, I don't think. And option D, small mountains of clouds. See, option A, that is tiny mountains, and option D, small mountains, they are almost the same. So the correct option will be huge mountains of clouds. So the correct option will be option number B. So option B is your correct answer. I hope this much is clear to everybody. Now students, let's come to the next question, that is question number 4th. So question number 4th is, forecast means same as, and the options are pleasure, option B approaching, option C predict, and option D huge. See, the meaning of forecast is to predict about future. That is the meaning of forecast. So the correct option will be option number C, that is predict. Okay, predict means to tell something about the future. Weather forecast, you must have heard about weather forecast, that there is a department, that is weather forecast department, that predicts, that forecasts about the weather, about the condition of weather. So the correct option will be option number C. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, choose the option that correctly matches the term with their compared word as given in the lesson. So this is a kind of match the following. There are certain words that are provided and you have to match them properly and appropriately, and after matching you have to tick the correct option. Okay. So students, as you can see, there are 2 columns that are provided and you have to match the word of column A with column B. So in column A we have 4 words, that is raindrops, hailstones, big raindrops and small raindrops. And in column B also we have 4 words, that is frozen pearls, 10 cents, 5 cents and new coins. Now you have to match the words of column A with column B. Students, the best way to solve such type of question is to eliminate the options. See, if you know 1 or 2 option also correctly, then you will be able to solve the whole lot. For example, the easiest, I would say, big raindrops and small raindrops. I think you remember that Lencho considered the big raindrops as 10 cents and the small raindrops as 5 cents. So these 2 are clear. That means C will go with second one, that is 10 cents, and D, that is small raindrops, that will go with third one, that is 5 cents. So these 2 are clear. Then there are 2 more, that is raindrops and hailstone. Hailstone means frozen pearls. It was like pearl, frozen pearl. So the second one will go with first, that is first one, that is B will go with first one, and what is remaining? Only first one is remaining, that is A. So raindrops is called as new coins by Lencho. So A will go with fourth. That means A will go with fourth, B will go with 1, C will go with second and D will go with third. So with this you can easily identify your answer and tick the correct option. So I hope this question is clear to everybody. Now students, let's move to the next question. So the next question is, an ox of a man means. See, this is a phrase that is mentioned in your book. Now what is the meaning of this phrase, an ox of a man? There are 4 options that are provided. The first one is inspiring like an ox. The second one is works hard like an ox. The third one is reliable like an ox. And the fourth one is lazy like an ox. So here students, Lencho was compared with an ox. Why? Because he was very hard working. He worked very hard in his field like an ox. So that is why Lencho was compared with that of ox. So the correct answer will be option number B. That means works hard like an ox. Okay. So now let's move to the next question. So 7th question is, which of the following describes the word plague in this lesson? Students, let me tell you that all the questions have been taken from your chapter. Not a single question I have taken from outside your chapter or outside your book. So you need to, once you are thorough with the chapter, you will be able to solve all the questions. And how you will be thorough with the chapter? You need to read the chapter thoroughly. If you will read it, then automatically you will be able to answer all the questions. Okay, so we have the options, 4 options for this question. Option A, any infectious disease that spreads quickly and kills many people. In the story, nobody was killed, that means none of the persons were killed. So this option we will eliminate quickly. The second option, a large number of unpleasant animals or insects that come into an area at one time. Yeah, this option can be considered, so we will keep this option safe. Now let's move to the third option. The third option is any infectious disease spread by rats that causes sufferings on the body and results in death. There is no mention about rats in the story. And the fourth option is none of the above. So I was explaining you the second one, that is option number B. Plague of locust, this was mentioned in your book. Locust means a group of insects, a swarm of insects that comes together and they causes destruction or damage. So the correct option will be option number B, that is a large number of unpleasant animals or insects that come into an area at one time. So this will be the correct option. Now students, let's move to the next question. So the next question is, postmaster wanted to collect dash but could collect dash, and the options are option number A, 17 pesos and 100 pesos, option B, 70 pesos, 100 pesos, option C, 100 pesos, 70 pesos, and option D, more than 100 pesos and 70 pesos. See, now don't get confused. Now students, the postmaster wanted to collect 100 pesos but he could only collect 70 pesos. So the correct option will be option number third, that is 100 pesos and 70 pesos. See, option number second and option number third, they look quite similar, so do not get confused between them. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Which can Lencho not think from the following? See, if not is mentioned in the question, you need to be alert. Now you need to think again. Okay, the options are option A, I hope it rains so that my family doesn't sleep hungry. Option B, I know God is with me and I will get good harvest this time. Option C, if it will not rain this time, my hard work will go in vain. And option D, I wish it rains a lot so that I get rich this time. So his intention was not to become very rich. He wanted to have a good harvest. So the first 3 options, they are thought by Lencho. Lencho thinks that okay, he hopes to rain so that his family doesn't go starving. Second option, he knows that God is with him. He was fully aware. He had unquestionable faith on God. And option C, he also thought that if it will not rain, then his hard work will go in vain, it will be wasted. So these 3 were thought by Lencho. But the fourth option, that is I wish it rains a lot so that I get rich this time, this is not mentioned in your chapter. So this will be the correct option. Okay, that is option number D. Now students, let's proceed with the next question. The next question is, Lencho's second letter included. The options are, for option A, details of his problem. Option B, list of further demands. Option C, description of the post office. And option D, his gratitude for the money. See, if we see option A, that is details of his problem, he already mentioned the details regarding his problems in the first letter. So this is not there. This is certainly not the answer. Option B, list of further demands. See, he got how much? He got 70 pesos, but he demanded 30 pesos more. So this will be the correct option, that is option number B. But let's see the other 2 options also. That is description of the post office. He didn't describe the post office, so this will not be there. And option number D, his gratitude for the money. He was not at all grateful for the money he received. So the correct option will be option number B. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Which of the following adjectives are not used to describe the postmaster? See, as I told you that when the word not is there, you need to be little more attentive. while solving the question. The options are affable, option B, sociable, option C, cordial, and option D, inconsiderate. See, the postmaster was a very kind-hearted man. He was a generous man. Affable means amiable. That means he wanted to help Lencho. He was a kind-hearted man. Sociable also, he was a social person. He wanted to help him. He was generous enough. Option C, cordial. Cordial also means the same. That is kind-hearted. And option D, that is inconsiderate. He was not inconsiderate. He was not at all cruel. So the correct option will be option number D, that is inconsiderate. Now students, let's move to the next question, that is, what type of conflict does the chapter highlights? The options are conflict between human and his mood, option B, conflict between humans and nature, option C, conflict among humans, and option D, both B and C. Students, let us see the first option, that is conflict between human and his mind. See, there was no conflict between human, that is Lencho, and his mind. He was pretty clear about everything. Now let's see the option B, conflict between humans and nature. Yes, there was a conflict between Lencho and nature. Lencho expected downpour, but instead hailstones were there. So this was a one conflict. Now the third, that is option number C, conflict among humans. Yes, conflict among human beings is also reflected in this chapter, as Lencho did not trust the post office employees. He rather called them crooks, that means dishonest people, but they were the ones who helped Lencho. They collected 70 pesos and then they sent that mail to Lencho, but he did not believe in them, rather he called them crooks. So this is also there. So the correct option will be option D, that is both B and C. So students, I hope that all the questions that I have discussed in this video are clear to everybody, and I really expect that this video will prove helpful to you in your upcoming examination. So students, I will be discussing a few more questions in the next video. Till then, thank you so much. Read your lessons properly and stay safe.